When Ibrahim Traoré discovered classified CIA documents in an abandoned facility outside Ouagadougou, he uncovered something that changed everything for Burkina Faso. The papers revealed a decades-long operation to control the country's vast mineral resources through puppet politicians and corporate fronts. The CIA never expected these documents to fall into the hands of a patriotic leader like Traoré. His response was revolutionary, sending immediate shockwaves through Western intelligence communities. The documents exposed a web of control that threatened powerful interests across multiple continents. The question remains, how much longer can these hidden powers maintain their grip before true patriots rise against them? Burkina Faso's future now hangs in the balance. What if I told you that beneath Burkina Faso's struggles lies a carefully crafted plan that few have seen? A hidden operation designed not to help the West African nation rise, but to extract its wealth systematically while keeping its people in poverty. This isn't speculation. It's what Ibrahim Traoré discovered in those classified documents. For decades, the CIA operated a sophisticated network throughout Burkina Faso, connecting foreign mining companies with carefully selected local officials. They created a system where gold, manganese, and other precious resources flowed out of the country through shell companies and complex ownership structures. A well-oiled machine of extraction draining the heart of the nation while leaving no trace on official records. In the village of Yatinga, Aisha Ouedraogo watched as trucks carried away tons of gold-rich ore daily past her family's modest home. Her son, suffering from malaria, couldn't receive treatment at the local clinic because it lacked essential medicines. "They promised us a new medical facility 5 years ago when the mining began," she told community members. "Now our children play in streams filled with chemicals while the gold that could build hospitals leaves in those trucks." This story repeated across Burkina Faso. While executives in Paris, London, and Washington approved quarterly profit reports from Burkinabe minerals, children in mining regions walked miles to dilapidated schools without proper roofs. Local communities near mines couldn't access clean drinking water while foreign shareholders celebrated record dividends. The operation created an illusion of normal business while orchestrating a massive wealth transfer away from Burkina Faso. The documents revealed how thoroughly foreign powers controlled the country's political system. They contained detailed assessments of potential political candidates, rating them based on their likelihood to cooperate with foreign interests. Patriots questioning resource deals faced manufactured scandals or quiet threats, while cooperative officials received offshore bank accounts, luxury properties abroad, and guaranteed comfortable exile if citizens demanded accountability. The operation maintained secrecy through media manipulation, funded research institutes producing favorable reports, and cultivated experts who appeared on international news explaining why these exploitative arrangements benefited Burkina Faso. When communities like Kongusi organized protests after mining contaminated their water supply, intelligence operatives infiltrated leadership to create internal divisions. Meanwhile, ordinary Burkinabe people questioned why their resource-rich country remained among the world's poorest. Government officials drove luxury vehicles while schools lacked basic textbooks. Power outages plagued major cities while foreign mining operations received uninterrupted electricity. When Traoré entered that abandoned facility outside Ouagadougou, he discovered an operational blueprint. Detailed maps showing undisclosed mineral deposits, communications between CIA handlers and local assets, and financial charts tracking resources moving through offshore entities. The statistics shocked him most. Approximately 80% of Burkina Faso's gold production left the country with minimal local benefit. Documents showed foreign companies earning 300 to 400% returns while paying royalty rates lower than virtually anywhere else globally. Meeting records revealed calculated strategies. Maintain technical language in contracts. Use complexity as a shield against public scrutiny. Another outlined plans to fragment opposition by emphasizing ethnic differences when communities questioned mining impacts. The CIA never expected these documents would reach someone like Traoré, a leader committed to his country's sovereignty rather than personal enrichment. They never anticipated that their carefully structured extraction might be exposed to the people it harmed. The operation was designed to continue indefinitely, transferring wealth generation after generation. But the real shock came when Traoré discovered exactly who was pulling the strings. The documents Traoré found weren't random intelligence files gathering dust. They formed a complete blueprint of control, a master plan spanning decades. As he spread the papers across the table in his secure office, the magnitude of what he discovered became clear. These weren't just theories or possibilities. This was the architecture of Burkina Faso's systematic exploitation, outlined in black and white. The most damning evidence came in the form of operation code names and financial networks. Project Golden Harvest detailed gold extraction, while Operation Stable Ground outlined manganese mining plans. Each operation connected CIA front companies with multinational corporations through complex offshore accounts. The money traveled far from Burkina Faso's treasury. Traoré's hands trembled as he examined the evidence. His country's wealth stolen in plain sight. Direct communications between CIA handlers and executives filled the files. Minister X has been secured. He understands the importance of maintaining favorable terms, read one memo from a CIA station chief to a mining CEO. Other documents outlined recommended incentives for officials, Swiss bank accounts, children's education at Western universities, medical treatment abroad. A categorized list of compromised Burkinabe officials shocked him. Some were expected, ministers who had reversed positions on mining regulations. Others devastated him, respected figures publicly championing national interests while privately betraying them. Fully controlled, partial leverage, potential asset, requires replacement. The classifications appeared beside each name along with their vulnerabilities. Gambling debts, affairs, hidden assets, or simple greed. Maps revealed mineral deposits unknown to his government, lithium reserves critical for battery production, gold fields beyond known areas. A massive copper deposit beneath farmland carried the notation, "Local resistance expected." Recommend standard community division tactics. The extraction timeline laid out a systematic 30-year plan to strip Burkina Faso of resources by 2050. The calculations were brutal: 90% of the country's mineral wealth extracted, with less than 15% of value remaining in-country. Profit projections, bribe estimates, and contingency plans against nationalist interference filled page after page. Previous uprisings had been methodically undermined. When miners organized protests over dangerous conditions, operatives either bought off leaders with community liaison positions or discredited those who refused. The documents revealed how solidarity movements were fractured by exploiting ethnic tensions and regional rivalries. Media manipulation strategies detailed journalists receiving payments for favorable coverage and campaigns against questioning leaders. One former president who challenged foreign mining contracts was systematically portrayed as unstable and dangerous to development through planted stories, funded academic papers, and coordinated social media campaigns. Economic pressure tactics included currency manipulation, artificial food shortages, and coordinated loan freezes from international financial institutions. Create the perception of economic crisis to force compliance, one document instructed. Traoré felt a chill as he discovered the final document, a comprehensive plan to replace him dated just 3 months earlier. It evaluated potential successors, detailed his personal vulnerabilities, and outlined a PR strategy to justify his removal. Subject shows concerning nationalist tendencies. Recommend activation of contingency plan if cooperation not secured by Q3. With evidence of his country's systematic plunder in hand, Traoré faced a choice that would determine Burkina Faso's future. While foreign powers counted their profits in comfortable boardrooms, ordinary Burkinabe citizens carried a weight they couldn't see. In villages across Burkina Faso, mothers woke before dawn to walk miles for water that often made their children sick. Young students studied by candlelight in homes without electricity, their textbooks outdated and shared between siblings. When illness struck, families sold livestock or borrowed money to pay for basic medicines that should have been available in local clinics. The documents Traoré discovered revealed how these daily struggles connected directly to the resource extraction operation. In Gawa, a community sitting above vast gold deposits, Local water sources showed dangerous levels of cyanide and mercury, chemicals used in gold processing. Mariam Ouedraogo, a mother of 3, described how her youngest son developed persistent skin rashes after bathing in the local stream. "The mining company told us the water was safe," she recounted, "but my boy's skin tells a different story." Medical records from the region showed rising rates of respiratory problems, skin conditions, and birth defects. Meanwhile, the mining company's environmental compliance reports revealed executives knew about the contamination, but calculated that paying occasional fines cost less than proper safety measures. The classified files exposed the true economic exploitation. Gold extracted from Burkina Faso's soil sold for just 60% of market rates, with the difference flowing through shell companies to foreign bank accounts. Manganese left the country at rates 40% below global markets. These manipulated prices directly robbed the national treasury of funds meant for infrastructure, hospitals, and schools. In Kalsaka, 18-year-old men descended into poorly ventilated shafts without proper safety equipment, earning $5 for 12-hour shifts. The operational documents revealed companies intentionally hired workers on temporary contracts to avoid providing benefits or safety training. One internal memo recommended maintaining local wage suppression by coordinating pay scales between operations. The exploitation extended beyond the mines. In Percoa, where zinc deposits created millions in profits annually, the local hospital operated without reliable electricity or basic surgical equipment. The promised pediatric wing existed only as an empty foundation because funds had been diverted through a complex network of contracts to offshore accounts, with portions flowing back to officials who approved the original mining permits. Throughout Burkina Faso, essential infrastructure remained unbuilt despite abundant resource wealth. The corporate headquarters of mining companies featured glass-walled offices and private jets, while government offices in Burkina Faso functioned without computers and schools operated without proper roofs during rainy season. This stark contrast was strategically maintained to extract maximum wealth while returning minimum benefit. Most devastating was the calculation Traoré found in the final pages. An economic analysis showed that had Burkina Faso received fair market value for its resources over 20 years, the additional revenue would have funded 1,000 new schools, 500 fully equipped hospitals, and modern water systems for every community. The village elder of Bisa put it plainly, "They take our gold and leave us holes in the ground. They promise development but deliver only dust." The difference between what the country received and what it deserved represented lost generations, preventable deaths, and futures denied. The documents didn't just reveal financial discrepancies, they exposed a systematic undermining of an entire nation's potential. Facing this reality, Traoré made a decision that no one, especially not the CIA, expected. When leaders discover uncomfortable truths, most choose silence. But Traoré chose a different path. Sitting alone in his office, surrounded by the classified documents that revealed decades of exploitation, he felt anger rising within him. Not just anger at foreign powers who had systematically stolen his country's wealth, but at the system that made it possible. For 3 days, he barely slept, reading through every page, understanding the full scope of what had been done to his people. His first priority was verification. Sleep-deprived and haunted by the magnitude of the betrayal, Traoré's mind raced between rage and disbelief. Each document revealed another layer of his nation's exploitation, fueling both his resolve and his caution. He assembled a trusted intelligence team who authenticated the documents through signature verification, cross-referencing, and discreet conversations with former officials. Within a week, their conclusion was undeniable. The documents were authentic. Foreign intelligence agencies had eyes everywhere. Like a chess master protecting his most valuable pieces, Traoré implemented comprehensive security protocols. He compartmentalized information, established encrypted communications networks, and constantly varied his meeting locations and transportation. The evidence itself became virtually indestructible, photographed, digitized, and stored on offline servers, with physical copies rotating between secure locations. If anyone attempted to destroy this evidence, the truth would survive. While maintaining this protective shield, Traoré gathered additional supporting evidence. He dispatched trusted advisors to review mining contracts, sent health officials to document contamination near mines, and ordered discreet financial audits. Each investigation confirmed the document's claims, revealing a massive exploitation system operating in plain sight. Behind closed doors, Traoré methodically prepared for international backlash. He secured essential supplies, established backup communications, and arranged alternative banking relationships with nations less aligned with Western interests. Like a farmer preparing for an approaching storm, he quietly strengthened his country's foundations against the inevitable pressure to come. The military's loyalty formed the cornerstone of his strategy. Through personal meetings with key commanders, Traoré shared carefully selected evidence demonstrating how foreign exploitation harmed their own families. He promoted officers with nationalist sympathies to critical positions, ultimately securing support from most of the military leadership, enough to prevent any foreign-backed coup attempt. Within government, Traoré simultaneously built a coalition of trustworthy officials while keeping potential threats close. He strategically restructured key ministries and established a special security unit answerable only to him, responsible for protecting critical infrastructure. As preparations neared completion, Traoré executed perhaps his most brilliant move. Like dropping pebbles in strategic places across a still lake, he deliberately leaked minor, misleading aspects of his plan through channels monitored by foreign intelligence. These calculated ripples created a false impression that he merely intended to renegotiate some contracts, not completely transform the relationship. This misdirection bought critical time. When Traoré finally addressed the nation, he abandoned diplomatic niceties. He revealed everything, showing CIA documents on national television, naming exploitative companies, and identifying corrupt officials. He announced immediate nationalization of foreign-owned mines, contract cancellations, and criminal investigations. Within hours, his comprehensive report circulated worldwide, reaching media outlets before foreign powers could organize a response. He established a public commission to determine fair compensation for nationalized assets while accounting for environmental damages in settlements. The world watched in shock as a leader finally stood against generations of exploitation, choosing his people's future over comfortable corruption. The discovery Traoré made wasn't merely about secret documents. It represented a turning point for Burkina Faso, a chance to reclaim resources that rightfully belonged to its people. In villages across the country, citizens watched with hope as mines that once enriched foreign shareholders began generating revenue for local schools and hospitals. True independence means a nation controlling its own wealth and determining its own future. Like a phoenix rising from colonial ashes, Burkina Faso transforms its destiny with each new school built from mining profits. Today, as the country builds new systems for managing resources, those resources finally serve the people who call this land home.